In this video, we're going over some of the best settings to use here in Black Ops 6 to drastically improve your aim accuracy as well as gun skill. If this video does help you out, feel free. Drop a like in the vid, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications. Let's get into it. And by the way, if you need help leveling up all your weapons but don't have enough time to play, Mitch Cactus has you covered. They offer services such as max leveling all of your weapons and even unlocking camo challenges all the way up to Dark Matter. So for cheap, reliable, and safe Black Ops 6 services, check out Mitch Cactus, and you can use my discount code EARS to save off your purchase. Link is at the top of the description. As you can see, I play with an Xbox Elite controller on PC with one paddle, the short paddle on the back, set up for jumping. Now, these settings are going to work no matter what controller you're playing with and also no matter what console you're playing on, so keep that in mind. For the button layout, I highly recommend playing on tactical. Tactical is going to be the best no matter if you're playing with a regular controller or with a controller with paddles on the back, because it is going to remap the crouch and prone button so you can press down on your right thumbstick to go to a crouch as well as a prone position, which is not only going to allow you to perform a drop shot while still being aimed down sight, but you can get in and out of cover a lot faster, and with the omni movement, you're going to be able to stay alive a lot longer, as well as win a lot more close range gunfights, even mid-range, and that's going to be super helpful when trying to secure your highest streak or potentially a nuke. That's exactly why I recommend playing on tactical. Now, for the horizontal and vertical stick sensitivity, this is very, very important. I recommend playing within the 1.2 to 1.6 sensitivity window. This is going to be roughly a 4 to a high 7 sensitivity. This is going to allow you to not only turn on players at close range, you're still going to have movement, but you're going to be incredibly accurate at longer ranges, which is going to be super helpful, especially if you're struggling with taking players out that are halfway across the map or all the way across the map. I feel like a lot of people struggle with long range engagements. Anybody can hip fire somebody at close range. It's long range gunfights where people are falling short and running within the 1.2 and 1.6 window is going to allow you to stay on target, but again, still have that movement so you can outgun players at close range very easily. If you're playing on a higher sensitivity and you find yourself missing a lot of shots and losing gunfight that you truthfully feel like you should not be losing, I recommend playing within this window and adjusting accordingly until you find that sweet spot. I can guarantee you're gonna find that sweet spot within that 1.2 to 1.6 window, and you're gonna be able to drastically improve your aim, accuracy, and gun skill overnight. So make sure you are making that switch. Everything else here is going to be the same, except that I do have controller vibration turned off. This is going to be a personal preference setting. I don't like to have any type of play in my controller that could potentially throw off my aim and accuracy. That's exactly why I shut off vibration. This is a setting that I've turned off back in Call of Duty World at War, and I've not turned it back on because in all reality, I don't feel like it is necessary. And here are my dead zone settings as well, just in case you want to copy these down. These are going to be dependent on your own controller health. So if you have a lot of stick drift or you don't, definitely go ahead and adjust these depending on, like I said, your own controller health. Now, under the aiming tab, we are going to be making some changes under the sensitivity multiplier. I highly recommend going ahead and adjusting your multiplier as well as your focus multiplier from the 1.0 by default to 0.7. This is going to be imperative, especially if you are losing a lot of gunfights at those medium to longer ranges. Once you go ahead and make this change, and I do recommend playing within that 1.2 to 1.6 sensitivity range, it's going to be like glue on the sticks. You're going to see an immediate improvement to your aim, accuracy, and gun skill at those medium longer ranges. It's going to be like night and day. Definitely make this change, and after going ahead and getting into some games, come back to this video and let me know down in the comment section how much an improvement you have seen. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be drastic. Now, for the aiming advanced settings here, you want to go to your look inversion, and you actually want to adjust your AD sensitivity transition timing to instant. If this is not on instant, there is going to be a delay between that ADS sensitivity transition, and you don't want that to happen. So make sure you actually go ahead and switch this. This setting is something a lot of people sleep on. You definitely do not want to sleep on it. For aim assist response curve type, I personally play on standard, but in all reality, these settings I'm going to be recommending can work whether you're playing on linear or dynamic. That's the nice thing about these settings. They work for a large range of personal preference settings. I personally like standard, like the way the game feels with the sensitivity. So that's why I play on standard. But if you like linear or dynamic, the settings I'm recommending are also going to work as well. Now, obviously, because we play on controller, target aim assist is going to be turned on and motion sensor behavior is going to be shut off. Now, under the movement settings, I do recommend actually playing on tactical sprint assist turned on. This is going to allow you to get around the map a lot faster, and it's one less button to press, which in my personal opinion is a massive W. I do recommend going ahead and having sprint assist delay actually reset to 0 because you don't want to have any delay. You don't want to have anything going ahead and slowing down your gameplay. Definitely go ahead and turn this all the way down. Mantle assist, I personally have it turned off. Crouch assist, I have it turned off. Corner slice, I have turned off. And my slide dot behavior, I have on hybrid. That's so I can go ahead and have full access and controllability to the movement. Sometimes the omni movement can get you killed just in case, you know, you mantle over a box or do something stupid you didn't want to do mid gunfight. That's why I have everything turned off or on hybrid. So I personally can control everything. It's just one of those settings where it's kind of personal preference, but in all reality, I think we can all agree we've had an instance when we have settings enabled that maybe you shouldn't have enabled, that you accidentally do a behavior that you didn't want to do, which cost you a gun to fight. This actually prevents a lot of that from happening, and that's exactly why I have my movement settings set up the way I do. Everything else here is going to be the same. I've not made any other changes. For combat setting, everything else is going to be the same, except I have my C4 detonation set to 1 by 1, just so I don't have to go ahead and throw both of them down at the same time. And everything else is going to be the same as far as the controller settings go. Now, under the graphic settings, motion reduction presets can be turned off. Arachnophobia mode is turned off. I do recommend playing within that 100 to 120 FOV range. It's going to give you a bigger picture, and it's going to be a lot easier to control recoil when you actually select the ADS field of view set to affected. Do not play on independent. I know a lot of people like to play on independent. Affected is going to mirror your game FOV. So whatever iron sight or optic you're using, that's going to be shown in the 100 or the 120 FOV, which is going to allow you to essentially have less visual recoil. So if you're ever wondering how other players, YouTubers, streamers might seem like they have no recoil, make this change right now. I can guarantee you're going to see a drastic improvement in your aim, accuracy, and gun skill. It's going to be night and day. Definitely go ahead and check out the 100 to 120 FOV range with the affected ADS field of view. You're going to see a drastic improvement. Now, I do recommend going ahead and turning off world as well as weapon motion blur. It's going to give a really annoying haze to your screen, making it a lot harder to see people in dark corners, especially if you are running around and you're trying to run and gun. And I do recommend going ahead and reducing your first person camera movement to 50%, because if some explosions go off next to you, it's not going to shake the screen as much and overall allow you to actually have an idea of what is going on around you. If you're playing on maps like Nuketown or Babylon, definitely going ahead and making this change is going to be in your best benefit, because it's going to be less screen shake. So definitely go ahead and do so. And I do have inverted flashbang turned on. This is a personal preference setting. I like the way the game operates when this is on. If you get flashbang, it's less annoying for me personally. So if you do want to go ahead and try this out, feel free to do so. But these are all the graphic settings that I do make changes to here in Black Ops 6 right now. Now, for the audio settings, they don't call me ears for nothing. There are some settings you want to go ahead and change. For the master game volume, I have this set to 100 all the way turned up so I can hear footsteps and gunfire a lot easier. Definitely a good decision. Gameplay music is going to be turned down to 30 because, let's be honest, it is crazy loud. You can tell in this video that I have it reduced. These are all the settings I do recommend going ahead and adjusting under the master game volume. Now, what I do recommend going ahead and doing also is for your audio mix, set this to headphones bass boost. This is a massive dub if you have a headset that you've bought within the last like 10 years. I have Astro 840 TR headsets that I've bought back in Infinite Warfare. Infinite Warfare, and they're still kicking. Absolutely insane, man. Goes ahead and show you the quality of Astro headsets, man. Headphones based boost is going to amplify footsteps and gunfire even more. So we have it set to 100. With this setting, you're gonna be able to hear footsteps a lot easier, and in turn be able to predict where people are gonna be without the use of a UAV, and that is a massive W in trying to go ahead and get streaks and overall potentially secure your first nuke or more nukes. That's gonna be all of the audio settings went ahead and adjusted. For voice chat, I do go ahead and put it on push to talk. Obviously making videos, I don't want to have this on open mic because that'd be annoying. We know how crazy the voice, chat system here is here in Call of Duty, unfortunately. So it's best in my interest and everybody else's interest to go ahead and have it set to push to talk. And finally, for the interface settings, the only thing I went ahead and changed was I have my mini-map shape set to square. You do not want to play on round. Then let me catch you playing on round. Square is going to not only give you a bigger picture, but it's also going to make it easier for you to read and interpret the mini-map and judge traffic patterns and overall figure out where people are at and where enemies are going to be, essentially coming from without the use of a UAV. These are going to be the absolute best settings to run here in Black Ops 6. As of right now, if you're drastically trying to improve your aim, accuracy, and gun skill, I highly recommend going ahead and playing within that 1.2 to 1.6 sensitivity range. Remember, that's going to be roughly a 4 to a high 7, and you're going to see a drastic improvement with your long range gunfight as well as medium range gunfights. Let me know down in the comment section. Actually, go ahead and check these settings out. Come back to the video. Let me know down in the comment section your best gameplay, because I think a lot of you guys are going to see a drastic improvement. If you guys enjoy, drop a like on the vid, subscribe to the channel, turn those post notifications. It's been your boy Ears, and I hope this video helps y'all out. Deuces.